Hi, my name is Bertram Daniel and I'm sitting here with Michael Momasis. And the reason we're here today has been created with the COVID virus issue that has highlighted the financial fragility of the bulk of the population. And because we're both so passionate about it, I thought it would be a really good time to discuss it in some, not great detail, but in a little bit of detail to maybe make you want to maybe do something about it, because I've been writing blogs about this for God knows how long, and the take-up is minimal. So, Michael, you are doing this now, and you're a passionate supporter of something that I'm passionate about, and I'm very happy to say that, in a sense, I introduced you down this path, right?
Yeah, I do have to say thank you to you for opening my eyes 8 or 9 years ago that working hard and working long hours wasn't the answer to financial success. So what I've been able to learn is that investing, and investing the right way, enables us in these times to actually not worry as much. I'm more worried about my kids, my mother, my family, and the people around us, rather than worrying about, like 90% of the people at the moment, worrying about money. And I've got you to thank for that. You opened my eyes to investing properly 8 or 9 years ago, and in turn I'm now able to sit here and help other people do the same thing. So yeah, that's the reason.
The interesting thing is, in the 40 plus years that I've been around this business, the bulk of it was spent as a real estate agent, right? And then when I observed the real estate industry around me, and I asked the question, how many of them had invested? There's probably, if you're lucky, 10%, right? And they reflected the vast majority of the people who are doing exactly the same thing. And here are people who are sitting in property, on property, and not using that. And I was one of those people. And then finally, I meet somebody who's opened my eyes to property and property development and investment. And my goodness, there's no turning back. And then, because I felt so passionate about it, I came to someone like yourself that we've known each other for ever so long and said, Michael, have a look at this.
Yeah, I, like everybody, thought I'd try and invest. I bought a property in Richmond in 1987, and we were going to make money like everybody renovating it, but then we had the recession we had to have, and I lost money. So I had to then go back and work a little bit harder, and then tried the odd investment, and it was just too hard. And I think the average person is finding it too hard. What I found is that if we learnt to do it in the right way, get people around us who understand what they're doing, and actually leverage off that knowledge. And if there's one thing you taught me, is you don't have to do it alone. Now we're able to come together, we're able to do developments as a community, leverage off other people's knowledge, but also leverage off the one thing that the average person is too scared to do. You know what that is, Bertram? Borrow money.
Yes.
It's
called OPSM money. Do you realise why? It's other people's safe money which is tucked in the bank and doing very little. So take that money and use it properly, wisely.
That's the one thing I learnt from my father. He spent his life paying off his mortgage, and when the time came to enjoy it, unfortunately he passed away. And 90% of today's population gets to retirement, and they've got their home, but then they can't live off that, can they? So the one thing I'm passionate about doing is showing people that if we do like the banks, take the equity out of what we actually have worked hard to achieve, that property doubles in value every 10 years. If we go and take that money like the bank does, take it at 3%, but put it over here in another asset, another property, another development, and get 7, 8, 12, 15, 20, we're able to pay off that mortgage quicker, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And then, after we pay off that mortgage quicker, we're able to set up assets, like you and I have done, that then give us the income to live. And then we don't worry about COVID-19 anymore.
Exactly. And, I hate to say this, Michael, but the great Australian dream, which, everybody learns, is you go out and buy a house. Now, if I was talking to a teenager or a young person, I would say, please go and buy a property, but for God's sake, don't go and live in it, rent it, and stay with mum and dad. Because while you're doing that, your property is going up in value, and that's the start of a different way to create the Australian dream. Sure, by investing in property, but doing it in a different way, you know. And as you and I both know, it's not about retail property anyway. I mean, it goes further than that into collective development, or call it group development. And but at least start, you know.
The key is starting,
Yeah.
but what we find is fear sets in. So the one thing you were able to help me overcome is actually the mindset of fear. You know, I'd lost money doing something. I didn't want to do it again. But when we sat down and we did it properly, and we were able to then take the next step and then get the knowledge from people around us that have also done it ahead of us. And the one thing I've learned is, apart from leveraging money, leveraging knowledge. So, you know, what we have learned is if we surround ourselves with experts, which we have. Yeah. We have now experts in finances. We have experts in accounting. We have experts in, you know, all these different areas that one needs to know before they take the step of investing.
Absolutely.
Get the knowledge, as you've always said. What is it?
Start with the end in mind.
Get the knowledge and do it properly. So the best thing that I can suggest to anybody is actually start with getting that knowledge.
Yep. You know, they say that everything has a plus and a minus. So we're in a minus situation with this COVID issue, and you're sitting at home doing very little. Why not get a plus out of it and start thinking about your future and how you're going to manage with the end in mind, not today. Start planning now. The way to do it is for us to have a quick chat. It can be on the phone, it can be on Zoom, whatever you like. We're good with that. And at least you get a massive plus out of this, and you'll end this lockdown period with a big smile on your face.